You're so cute. My baby. Pregnancy. Woo! I don't even know where to start. Well, what a gift. How beautiful this experience has been. Can we just start with all the positives? It's literally the most faith building experience to see a life being created from nothing and to just see the growth and all that takes place. Like, I think even in like the first month, our baby was already like getting a heart and brain and just like all of these really vital things. And I just think overall, the sentiment that I feel is in awe of God, and just it feels insane. Like, it's unreal. It's unreal. It's surreal. But it was kind of like a surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the initial like feeling was overjoyed, shock. This is surreal. But I had no idea what pregnancy would actually be like. For me, it's been like every single part of me has been focused on this little, beautiful, amazing life. And therefore, the part that's left over for me to function, to work, to just have, to really embrace my responsibilities and to do well, those parts, that leftover amount of energy and mental fortitude and emotional fortitude and all that has been very sparse. So I think in the first trimester and even now, but mostly first trimester, the battle for me was more mental. It was like realizing that growing a life and, you know, holding space for life, for God to create life is like, it's a thing. It's definitely like, even though it doesn't feel like you're doing something, I guess, you are. Like, literally 24/7, everything that you do is going into breeding this life. And just to give you guys an idea, like Emeka and I, we oversee like a creative ministry group essentially, and we host people in our home every week. Different creatives. We have like open Bible discussions with them, and we also like mentor different people along with that. So, you know, like, and then working full time. So yeah, like very full life to the full. But I think I just had to like allow myself to go slower in everything and be okay with going slower and recognize that going slower didn't mean that like I wasn't good enough. I always have this battle of like perfectionism and like I have to be a certain way to like earn love from others, to earn love from God. And then when I'm not living up to par or doing those things, like basically everyone's mad at me or God is mad at me or whatever. So mentally, that's not the healthiest mindset. And I think like God really exposed that in my first trimester. And I had to like let go and really allow myself to be held, you know, by other people, by God, by my husband. Emeka he still is. He's literally like doing everything. He had to cook the meals because the smell of the kitchen literally would just make me throw up. Like I couldn't be in the kitchen for more than like 5 minutes. Every smell everywhere, that's a whole other thing. But yeah, he would have to cook, like, you know, he would have to like clean and just everything. And I was just in bed. And so yeah, that was the thing that I really like had to learn the most. I think it was, my worth is not like, um, it's not established in all of the things I'm able to achieve in a certain day, and asking for help, having help is actually a good thing, just allowing yourself to be weak, allowing yourself to adjust to now this, this state of taking care of another life and also your own life as well. In those moments, there was a scripture that God kept like just giving me. That really helped me a lot. I wanted to share that with you guys actually. So it's Isaiah chapter 40, verse 11. It's talking about God. He will lead his flock like a shepherd. He will carry the lambs in his arms, holding them close to his heart. He will gently lead the mother sheep with their young. And this just like kept coming into my head in those moments where I just like felt like at the end of a day I hadn't achieved like the goal that I had, or like I just felt like a bad wife or a bad mentor or whatever. Like your life is a little bit different, and I just knowing that God is understanding of that has been so comforting to my heart, you guys. Like it's just it makes me like emotional, because it's just amazing that even in this season where a lot of times pregnancy has just felt impossible, to the point where I've even had terrible thoughts like, I don't know if I can do this. And then even talking to other like moms who are like, this is the least of your worries. I'm like, what? Like, I feel like I'm dying. Like, this is crazy, But I think just knowing that in those moments, like God has already considered that. He was already aware that, it would be challenging, and therefore like he has this plan to gently lead me and hold me and help me, is just so amazing. And God is so amazing. So for all of you, like, new mothers or expecting mothers, you can do this. God's got you, and you have a whole community of women that can relate to you. So don't give up, and I guess that's my encouragement. But that's what I've been learning. Yeah. I'm really curious to know what you've been learning.
I think pregnancy, it's so interesting because obviously, I don't know, there's just this thing around, maybe it's just me and something I think, but where as a man you're not allowed to talk about it, because it's physically not you. You're obviously not physically going through the all day sickness or the nausea or the fatigue or the stomach pain and stuff like that, But I feel like obviously if you're married, it can't not be a part of your life, So I think for me, obviously the thought of being a father and stuff like that has been definitely real in terms of the influence you can have on somebody's life, just to shape somebody like almost nobody else can. The parenting of a young child has just been a crazy thought in my mind. But I think every man wants to fix problems. So if Amanda's feeling sick or something, it's just like, how do we fix it? How do we make it better? How do we make this, not be the case? But I think early on it's up because it just is. It's just something else. A baby is involved in your bodily functions. They're just there, and they need stuff from you. So naturally, it's gonna take away from the equilibrium that you had initially in your, stability of your stomach, and so you might feel nauseous and stuff like that. And I think initially we talked about this. There was definitely a feeling of like feeling like a butler, because she just needs help. She needs help in basically everything. Like food, getting stuff. Early on it's like we live on a 5th floor walk up, so any moment she could ask, hey, I just need you to go to the store and buy this, and I just have to like smile and wave, and go get it. So there's definitely a feeling of that,
Yeah.
but um, I think that like because I know the why, it's much easier to survive the how, like the day to day of like, okay, today I know Amanda's gonna need me, so at this point it's not really a surprise anymore, and I definitely just have embraced it to the best I can. There are definitely moments of feeling different things, so and also I think what I'm growing in is just accepting the aspect of just being there, not fixing, not
Mm. That's probably really hard.
diagnosing, you
Yeah.
know, just being there and okay, I'm just gonna rub your back as you're throwing up, you know. I'm just gonna stay here.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna rub your belly.
So great.
I'm just gonna be here, and I think for men that is very very tough, you know, because it's like you know in anything if you see like a lost pipe that's not fixed, you can't just stare at it and not do anything. You want to fix it, you know. So I think that's been the biggest thing for me, just being here. But I think in general, I'm also excited. I'm excited for the opportunity to. I'm sure every father has the intention to do right, you know, and obviously they'll make mistakes. But I have just the excitement of being an amazing dad, being someone who like they're just molds an amazing human being, you know, by the grace of God. So I think that that's been the biggest thing for me, just like this expectant nature, like focusing on the positive, because it hasn't been very picturesque or Instagrammy. You know, there are moments where Amanda's just lying down on the floor, crying,
It is
you know,
not
or
Instagrammy.
like you know, trying to sit down in whatever position is comfortable. You know, so I mean, you guys don't see that, but it's like definitely a real thing, you know. So, but I'm grateful. I'm excited for the fact that it's an amazing opportunity, and yeah, I think the biggest thing I'm learning is being present. You know, you don't always have to fix something. Something doesn't always have to be wrong. Maybe it just is. You know, and even in my character, that's something I'm working on as well with God. Like, okay, it just is. You know, because something is testing you doesn't mean that he's angry at you. So doing something just is, you know, just accept it, you know. So I think those are the biggest things, and I'm excited to see what this is. 20 weeks now.
Yeah, 20 weeks. Well, tomorrow's 20 weeks.
Okay, so it's basically 20 weeks, and I'm excited for the next half. You know that
That's crazy.
we've learned some lessons in first and a half trimester. We're going to the second one, and I'm excited for what it has to teach us in our character, and hopefully we can just be better, you know. And the last thing I'll say is I think I was talking to someone, and I was just thinking of just this time has taught me to remember the things that really matter, you know, like making meals together, talking together, going to bed without phones or screens, and just being by each other. You know, just hanging out, maybe watching something, but just focusing on that and nothing else. Because whenever there's a lot of things going on, obviously we go back to what's familiar, and I want to make that familiar. When our kid is born, like when it's stressful, we go back to habits that are actually helpful and not destructive. You know,
Like numbing out.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I just want to make sure that we really love each other, and we're not just like business partners. You know, it's just not just like, hey, babe, Amanda speaking. Like, can you make me this? I'm like, sure. And then we think that's marriage. It's a part of it, but just the aspect of like, I married you. I didn't marry you as I didn't acquire you as a business. You know what I mean? I married you so I can have dinner with you. You can talk. You can spend time. You can make videos. YouTube. So that's the last thing I remember. So
Awesome.
yeah, you know, it's real. So
Yeah, so if you guys like this video, found it to be helpful in any way, please share it with a friend, give it a like,
yeah,
and also subscribe. We hope to continue posting content and updates on this channel. Yeah, and also let us know if there's anything you want us to go more in detail on that we brought up or that we talked about. And let us know what you need prayer for below. I will definitely be praying for all of your requests, and please pray for baby Anima. I love you. All right, I love you guys. Bye.